Welcome, welcome, and welcome. I'm so excited you are joining this online training. I'm going to show you my secrets of how you can easily recharge and enhance your intimate connections by investing less than 5 minutes a day. And on top of that, becoming a master of amazing relationships. My name is Matthias Schwentek, and I'm the founder of the Somatic Consent Academy. So we will go here for about 30 minutes. Make sure you sit comfortable, switch your phone off, because I share a lot of valuable information. I will show you some important dynamics and slides and the #1 secrets of my findings and an amazing roadmap how you can easily use all of that straight in your life. So feel free to make notes and screenshots. And if you like, ask questions in the lower right-hand corner. I will personally answer all of them after the training. And at the end of this journey, I have a free bonus gift for you, an offer on how you can make the most out of this training and using what I'm showing you here today in the best possible way. Does that sound good? Okay, so then let's start. First, I switch my screen. What this training is, it teaches you a secret skill that will help you to experience the 4 different ways of connection through touch and how to use these insights in your personal life and your profession. And as you deepen your practice, you'll find this useful in many areas of your life. How to develop a better relationship with your lover, with friends, with colleagues, with clients and participants, or in any kind of social situation. So who is that training for? It is especially for you if you are interested in personal and professional development and intimate relationship enhancement. And in fact, it's about learning how to empower yourself and others in making choices, express desires and limits, and make clear agreements based on your values and your truth. It shows you very clear who is doing the action and who the action is really for, based on the 5-minute touch exercise that I'm going to show you here today. So please stay tuned. To make it really as easy as possible, I like to narrow all of this down into one magic word, and that is consent. And because the embodiment of consent makes all the difference, I call it somatic consent. Have you ever felt, despite all your success, a sense of disconnection and a kind of loneliness or emptiness? Do you find yourself overwhelmed at times, lost in your busy thoughts, questioning if there is more to life than just climbing up the professional ladder? Isn't it like juggling a demanding career on one hand while craving something deeper or meaningful on the other side? Have you faced moments where confronting these feelings seemed almost useless? Have you ever doubted whether real change was possible? When I was at this point, I started searching and I turned every stone around that I could find. And after years, I discovered something incredible, how to change my life in just a few minutes every day. This is all it took. So that discovery that I made didn't just change my life, it laid the foundation for all the work that I do today, and it has impacted many others who have embraced it. So, can you recall times where you felt a gap between your professional achievements and your personal fulfillment? How did that feel? So take a moment and hold on to that feeling as we move deeper into this journey together. So, why do we actually need consent? Imagine a world where every touch and every interaction is consensual, full of clarity and deeply fulfilling, where the depth of connection and intimacy that you experience is transformative. That world can begin here with you today. So the importance of consent is essential for creating safe, respectful environments during every encounter, fostering trust and mutual respect. Consent in action is clear communication and regular check-ins that helps everyone to engage and make every encounter more joyful and effective. It is about establishing a common terminology and clear communication to enhance people's engagement and comfort by clarifying rules and boundaries. So especially when you need to set the tone to provide guidelines and upholding consent. Engaging in consent ensures a safer and more fulfilling experience. So you can create your desired environment by ensuring your understanding and respect for choices and boundaries. So you are joining here today. Might be you want to explore how to surrender or expressing the depth of your true desire, or maybe it's about deepening the intimacy in your relationship through honest communication. So whatever your goal or challenge is, know that you are here in the right place, and I will guide you through this and in a very affecting learning method. So I've been in a world of confusion for many years, having delved into the world of Tantra and sacred sexuality for over a decade as a professional practitioner and facilitator, working with people from all ages and stages of life. So I have evolved from viewing consent as just a term into fully understanding and embodying consent since 2010. And my path has led me through over 200 workshops and trainings worldwide, including relationships, touch, sexual empowerment, and transformation through pleasure. So this extensive journey of learning, practicing, and teaching has been both challenging and enriching. And I hope my journey towards somatic consent blends with your desire to create a journey of self-discovery and heartfelt intimacy, avoiding all the traps that are lying on the way. So my journey towards building somatic consent led me in 2017 to co-founding the School of Consent. And in 2021, I opened the Somatic Consent Academy, what I like to call it just a massive consent upgrade. And I share here this new transformative magical secret of somatic consent with you in just a few moments, how it works and how it all fits together. So if you want to read more about me and my journey into consent, I published a book in 2021. It's called Orgasmic Blueprint. I know it's a very intriguing title with everything that you need to know. It's for individuals, couples, and intimate professionals, and it provides tools for pleasure, desire, and communication. And it became a bestseller on Amazon in the category sexuality. Okay, so today we are diving deep into a topic that is crucial for all our connections, our intimacy, and our very understanding of human interaction, individually and professionally. So when you hear the word consent, what comes into your mind? For many, it's the simple yes or no, but in truth, it goes far beyond that binary. So embodied consent is tuning into the wisdom of your body to guide authentic and nuanced interactions. And consent is a journey of self-awareness. It's an ongoing conversation we have not just with others, but with ourselves. So it helps you to understand your desire, your boundaries, and the spaces in between. And imagine a world where your interactions, especially those of touch and intimacy, are rooted in clarity. When there is a mutual understanding and a shared journey of pleasure and a profound respect for each other's boundaries. For example, in dancing, where both dance partners check in comfort levels before engaging, or professional collaboration, where all team members clearly communicate rules and objectives before starting a project. Any intimate relationships where couples have ongoing conversation about desires and boundaries. Physical sessions where you discuss comfort levels and boundaries before starting any actions. Participating in events where event attendees and facilitators share clear intentions and codes of conduct. Social gathering where guests and hosts are upfront clear about boundaries and the nature of the gathering. So this is the world that I envision. And a world where consent isn't just an afterthought, but the foundation of connections. Where it doesn't just prevent misunderstanding, but actively creates deeper, more meaningful connections with people and the world that we are living in. Wouldn't that be a great world? And as we journey here together today, my reminder to you is that consent is transformative, and that consent has the power to change lives and relationships, and your very perspective of touch and intimacy. But as Carl Jung said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. So I like to invite you to a short dive into the human psyche, because it's essential to recognize the shadows that often surface in our interactions, driven by our primal instincts. So somatic consent doesn't shy away from these shadows. Instead, it equips you with the tools to integrate and transform them. You might find yourself in some of these expressions. So here are a few live examples where and how the shadows can come up, and perhaps you have more ideas and, of course, experiences in workplace conflicts, in your intimate relationship dynamics, in parent-child dynamics, conflicts in friendships, personal boundary settings for professional growth, people being confrontative and projecting their stories. And navigating shadows isn't a journey that you cannot undertake alone. Would it be great to have a space where every shadow can be looked at and every light is celebrated? Because the pitfalls of these shadows is they are hidden to you, so you can't see them yourself. You need others to reflect them. And the easiest and most difficult thing that I have found is asking for what you really want. But let's take a few moments and reflect on the following questions to show you what I mean with the shadows. So feel free to make screenshots of the questions. Okay, so why don't you ask for what you really want? And this is a really, really deep question. It guides you to the fountains of your desires. So why don't you ask for what you really want? And what are you doing instead if you don't ask for what you want? So what are you doing instead to get these needs met if you don't ask for them? This is deep. So why is it difficult for you to say no when others ask for what they want? Yeah. So why is it difficult for you to say no when others can ask for what they want? And what are you doing instead if you can't say no? So here you see some of these dynamics related to the shadows. And true is that we're all going to be doing something, because we have all needs and desires we want to get met, right? And can you imagine how difficult it might be for others too to ask for what they want or to say no? And all what they do instead. So let these questions and your reflections sink in a little bit, and it shows straight into the shadows. So the great news are we can transform them instead of making them wrong. And you know my ask, how? It's like Buckminster Fuller said. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. And this model is what I'm going to show you here in a few moments. It is the somatic consent engagement system. And this system starts with your base. So your base underscores self-love, self-awareness, self-care, and radical self-responsibility through feeling yourself. Before you can genuinely connect with others, you must first understand and embrace yourself and embody pleasant sensation on a somatic level. That's because you either move towards something that feels good for you or away from something that doesn't. So unfortunately, there is no substitution for this step. So simple, let's build your base. And to effectively do that, I like to give you a deeper understanding of how you find it with some slides here. So you find all this demonstrated as well in the book and in the Academy online courses. So the base is all in your domain. So what you have a right to and a responsibility for. All your feelings, your body, your thoughts, your beliefs, desires, limits, boundaries, and taking full ownership of that. But the most important thing in your base is about what direct pleasure is and how you can find it. But what might happen for most of you before is that you lose yourself in indirect pleasure. Yeah? How? That's how it happens. When you are going into any action, for example, to move your hand, your brain is sending signals to your muscles to go into action, right? So, and when another person is involved into this action and their response is coming back to you and activates your pleasure center, right? This is what we call indirect pleasure. Their pleasure is your pleasure. So you do something to make people feel good so that you feel good about yourself when they feel good about what you do. I hope that makes sense. Or vice versa. Somebody is doing something to you to get the reaction that they want to have, but you can't feel it. And then you pretend or perform. I've done that. This is what I invite you here today to turn around. So into direct pleasure. And this is how it works. So there are a gazillion nerve endings in your hands, yeah, and they are connected to your pleasure center through the sensory inflow, so in your skin. So there's a huge part in your brain dedicated to your hands to feel and make sense of the world. And that is what we call a direct route of pleasure. You go into action for your own pleasure. Very simple. And that is what I would like to invite you to start practicing just 5 minutes a day, activating direct pleasure through an ongoing pleasure meditation with your hands. Because this is crucial to embody this principle where the entire new model is built on. In short, you will learn to experience direct pleasure as a benefit for yourself while you are in action. And that is an ongoing process and goes deeper and deeper. But now here comes another very important question. How is it really when you touch another person? Can you stay in connection with your sensations of direct pleasure? Or how do you feel when your direct inflow is not open? So why could it be difficult for you to be in action and feel pleasure for yourself? Some example could be you feel shame, or you feel guilt, or fear, or you have some beliefs that they don't like me, or fear of rejection, or you have bad memories of touch, or any expectations that you have or that you think the other person might have, or you think you are too selfish, or any other conditionings from education, society, religion, just to mention a few. So I ask you at the beginning of the training, how do you feel the gap between your professional achievements and your personal fulfillment? You remember? Here is the gap. So now I invite you to take a few moments and feel for yourself, why could it be difficult for you to be in action and feel pleasure for yourself when you touch another person? And again, why could it be difficult for you to be in action and feel pleasure for yourself when you touch another person? So give yourself a few moments just to reflect on these questions. And to make it really clear, indirect pleasure is not wrong or bad. You need to use it as a professional and personal for many ways. But when indirect pleasure is the only realm that you know, and mostly intimate relate in that world, you make yourself dependent on what is coming back and just miss out on the real deal from within. And as we talked about the shadows and the gap, here you find some of the roots. And this simple exercise to find and practice direct pleasure is this #1 secret where personal fulfillment and real transformation is built on. That world of direct pleasure is where true connection and intimacy with yourself is rooted and where you can really grow. This is an inside job, and unfortunately, there is no substitution, and only you can do that. So you are the master of your reality here. So this simple dynamic is creating a holistic and integrated approach to life that leads to a deeper understanding and experience of connection and pleasure. It goes far beyond any technical skills, and it's about creating your base of personal empowerment and autonomy from which you can empower others within the scopes of all your existing skills. So practicing direct pleasure as a touch meditation minimum twice a week will make a significant difference in embodying your connection to yourself and others. So the entire engagement system of somatic consent is founded on these neurological principles. So you learn more about the entire system in just a few moments. So building this foundation is a life-changing key to embody the differences between direct and indirect pleasure, when and how to use them, and what happens when you ignore them. It's an anchor ensuring that as you climb higher on your journey of intimate connection, while you remain grounded and authentically express your truth. From here you can build and becoming an expert of connection. It's like a musician. The more you practice, the better you will become. And my invitation to you here is to create this internal symphony of intimate fulfillment. Okay, are you ready to bring this understanding even to the next level? So the somatic consent engagement system is your guide in a practice that we call the 3-minute game. And the 3-minute game stands for 4 ways of human connection within consent. This creates the engagement zones in the entire system that I will show you in just a few moments. So this consent exercise teaches you how this dance between your desire and your limits work together. So you will embody giving and receiving in all your relationships at work or in everyday life. This skill helps you to connect with others in a different way, and you understand consent in many different situations. Because it's like the philosopher Plato said, you can discover more about a person in 1 hour of play than in a year of conversation. And that includes learning about yourself. Okay, I will switch my cam to show how this works. So this is how the 4 dynamics look like. As an example, if I would touch you, is my hand doing what I want? Or is my hand doing what you want? And if you would touch me and your hand is coming towards me, is your hand doing what you want? Or is your hand doing what I want? So this is how the game works. When you play with someone, you start in this dynamics with 3 minutes each. And of course, it's not limited to the hands, but it's a vital starting point. And you play as long as you agree with someone. In short, I do what I want. I do what you want. You do what you want. And you do what I want. And all within your limits or the limits of the others. It shows you who is doing the action and who the action is really for. Because taking this dynamics apart will make all the difference. So this creates a developmental blueprint, like a compass of engagement that begins with your base. So direct pleasure in your skin guides you into your base, and the 3-minute game leads you into the engagement zones. So here you see When you are in action, your action is either for you or your action is for them. Or when it's their action, it's either for you or it's for them. So it's either your action or their action, or it's either for you or it's either for them. And this dynamics here, this is your starting point where direct pleasure comes into play. So when your action is for you, you need a request. Can I touch you? Can I feel you? May I touch you? May I feel? So however you want to say that. And on a level of a human connection that needs permission. And when it's their action and it's for you, that needs a different request. Can you or will you do such and such for me? And that is an agreement, not permission. So when it's their action and it is for them, you need to give permission to feel comfortable. Yes, you can do that. And when it's your action for them, you need to agree. Yes, I can do that. Yes, I'm willing to do that. Okay, now when it's for you, you are on the receiving side of life. It's about what you want, your desires, and making requests. And when it's for them, you are on the giving side of life. That's about what are you willing to and your limits and making offers. So my experience is that people will naturally levitate towards you, experiencing a sense of safety, value, and understanding when you have this dynamics embodied. So now you see the blueprint of the entire system, a summit for personal, professional, and spiritual development through playful practice and exploration. So this combined shows you the whole system as a roadmap, including the shadows. So please take a screenshot if you like. And this system is using a multi-dimensional approach, showing a holistic, complex understanding of all human connections. It identifies the coexistence of survival shadows with genuine interpersonal bonds, providing a clear pathway to navigate these complexities. So here are a few examples from people going through this transformative embodiment process. Luna learned to slow down and to feel, and Karina learned to trust feeling her body. This helped Dan how to deeply connect sensually and sexually. And Gianni learned the difference between experienced sensation and relational patterns. Nina learned to move away from her intellect to an embodied experience of life. Okay, let's take a few deep breaths and reflect on all this information. So, I hope this content has been helpful so far. And how do you feel if I could help you even more with this dynamics? Is that something that you would be interested in? Now you have two options with this material. You can either choose to go alone with it, right? Take what you have learned here and apply it in your life and use it. And I think you are going to get some great results. Or you choose the second options because you might have a lot of questions or some insecurities about whether it's going to work, and there might be some gap that you still have to get filled. And because of that, as I mentioned at the beginning of this training, I have a free gift for you. And if you want to get your blueprint and you want to have an individual step-by-step path to get from where you are to where you want to be with your personal life and your professional connection, you can get a free 30-minute live Zoom call with me. This is an informational call to feel into what is possible for you. You ask questions and how you can use somatic consent in the best possible way. I'm really excited about this content and I love teaching this material, and it will help you to change how you think about touch, pleasure, connection, communication, and all forms of relationships. So to get in connection, just follow the link where you can choose a day and time that works best for you. Enter your name and your email, and after that fill out a brief questionnaire which will help me to prepare for our conversation, understanding who you are and clarifying your intentions so I can ensure that you get the most out of this call. And again, this is 100% free call for you to feel into what is possible for you. Here are some people who choose that call for an upgrade in their lives. So Linda, an educator and transpersonal therapist, she got new insights and heightened self-awareness for exploring healthier, more meaningful relationships in her life and sessions. Richard gained transformative insights into relationship and interpersonal dynamics. Maria experienced enhanced self-awareness and improved relationships through her embodiment. She gained tools to navigate life with confidence and understanding. And Vincent, a psychologist and relationship therapist, reshaped his professional practice by enriching his understanding of connection to sexuality and politics. He found a deeper understanding between non-cursing and choice. And Carol gained new perspectives on relationships and a deeper understanding of herself in confronting her shadows. So, okay, it's time to wrap it up. Okay, welcome on the other side of this amazing training, and thank you so much for taking the time to invest in consent awareness and transformation, and how you can easily recharge and enhance your intimate fulfillment. And I hope you feel inspired what touch, intimacy, and connection can mean for you. My invitation here to you is be the change you want to see in your life. And if you choose, feel free to reach out, and I would love to see you on your call. Thank you again for joining, and bye for now.